door, they're going to unload their shotguns onto you. And sure, maybe it's a little dark and you can't see it, but you think they're holding the shotguns, they're about to shoot you. Then you burst into the room with your shotguns and you shoot them. Turns out they don't have the shotguns. Even though by all means and factors and all the evidence, you believe that the second you opened that door, they were going to blow you away. That would be an imperfect self-defense, because it turns out they didn't have the guns pointed at you. A self-defense defense would be, yeah, the guns were pointing at you and there was a shootout. You killed them before they killed you. So what the judge found is, even for imperfect self-defense, the imperfect version, there was no evidence of it. And more importantly, these two new pieces of evidence, Erik Menendez's letter to Andy Kano about sexual abuse. Well, he testified. Erik Menendez testified for 7 days on the stand in the second trial, detailing the sexual abuse he experienced from his father from the ages of 6 to 18. He even talked about communicating with Andy Kano about it 6 years before, when he was 12 or 13 and Andy Kano was 10. Andy Kano testified that, yes, when I was 10, Erik Menendez shared this information with me, and both of them said they had not communicated about the sexual abuse since then, though the letter is written approximately 9 months before these shootings. The judge said with that letter and the Roy Rossello declaration, which both Menendez brothers said, we had no idea that our dad was doing anything with Roy Rossello when it happened back in 1983-84, when they were killing their parents in 1989. The judge basically said neither one of these new pieces of evidence would go into their mindset to understand that they had a fear of imminent peril when they burst into that room on August 20th, 1989. So what the judge basically said is, I'm not going to deal with all those procedural arguments that the prosecution made about timeliness, new evidence, admissibility or credibility. I'll just jump to the end of the analysis, which is the additional evidence that it would show fear of imminent peril? The answer is no. Was the additional evidence such that it would have produced a reasonable doubt in the mind of at least one juror? And the judge said emphatically no. Yes?
So could you address the Judge Ryan also addresses the subject of the new evidence that was presented versus premeditation. Could you explain what that means, please?
Sure. So premeditation, I'll give you the difference between premeditated murder and we'll call it a voluntary manslaughter. Voluntary manslaughter, is the classic definition, is someone bursts into a room, they see their spouse with somebody else, they get enraged, they give no thought, and they kill the person that's with their spouse or their spouse. It's a heated passion. It's spontaneous almost. It's impulsive. Premeditated means you thought about it. Going ahead and buying shotguns 2 days before under an alias in San Diego instead of Los Angeles, practicing with the shotguns the next day, pre-planning your alibi before you've gone ahead and killed someone, and you fear imminent peril, and then actually going ahead and trying to buy the Batman the movie tickets afterwards, staging the killing to look like a mafia killing, and then screaming in a 911 call that someone killed our parents. These are the steps that the prosecution back over 30 years ago, and we through our papers laid out step by step by step to show that the Menendez brothers didn't just have a voluntary, impulsive, heat-of-the-moment decision to kill their parents, but they thought about this for days. What they say to the psychiatrist in the taped confessions is that Lyle Menendez had the idea of killing his father well over a week ahead of time and presented it to Erik Menendez to make sure that they were not only comfortable killing their father, but killing their mother as well. And the reason that the Menendezes gave to the psychiatrist, which is taped, at the time why they wanted to kill their mother, is that it was either a mercy killing. They thought that she couldn't live without their father, so they were doing her a service, or they didn't want to witness to their father's killing, so they had to kill her as well. So that evidence came out at trial, and that's the evidence we relied on to show the evidentiary record to the judge, to explain why this additional new evidence was not any additional evidence dealing with imminent peril. or the self-defense defense. There was some additional sexual abuse evidence, which was not their central defense at the trial. And Judge Ryan agreed with us. Yes?
Hi, so you said the governor at any time could give like clemency to the brothers, so they could pretty much get out any time. Why do you think it's taking so long, even though the public wants this to happen? Curious.
Well, whether the public wants it to happen or not, Governor Newsom has had this on his desk for a long time, well over a year, maybe 2 years at this point. He does not have to share with us his processes to understand whether or not he's going to release them or not. At one point he said he was going to see how the parole board analyzed the situation, and that may influence how he decides to release them or not release them. But well before the parole board ever got the case, well before the Menendezes ever filed a motion, remember he's been governor since 2019. At any point, any day he could wake up in the morning, sign a piece of paper, and the Menendez would be out that afternoon. He's chosen not to do so, but it's his choice for whatever reasons he wants to give for it. Any last question? All right, well, thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
They might have back there.
Everything good? Yeah? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there are cases where
Lo tengo.
Yo tengo, ¿sí?
They ran it.
¿Sí? Dale. Prenderlo.
Where you were earlier.
Okay.
Right just there.
Ahí está.
Okay.
Flags and shit.
Me vas a mirar a mí, pero vamos a estar nada más de posicionarte. Espérame tantito, compañero. Un poquito más atrás, así está bien, ¿no?
I'm good.
Ok, no te me muevas. Okay.